All right, so my first question for Kyle Daukaus, who's the CFFC middleweight champion, is how has your training camp been going for this upcoming fight against Keenan Pattershunk?
It's been going good. It's been a long camp. It's been about 8, 10 weeks of just hard work and preparation, getting good video quality in of studying him and whatnot, and making sure I'm getting the good training that I need to get, and getting recovery, as you can see, I'm in the sauna right now. So making sure I get my recovery and making sure everything's good to go on next Friday.
What lessons have you been learning in this camp? Like, have you learned any new things about yourself or about your opponent?
Uh, I mean, about myself, just being smarter with training, just making sure that I'm getting the recovery that I need, and making sure I'm getting the nutrition that I need, and just being smart about everything. I'm 31 now, so I'm starting to feel the kind of the old age a little bit in this sport. But yeah, just making sure that I'm being smarter nutritionally and training and recovery wise as well.
Perfect. And what does it mean to you to be the CFFC middleweight champion? Because you were the middleweight champion before you went to the UFC, and now you're back with CFFC, and now you're the middleweight champion again. And how does it feel to basically come back home and become champion of the promotion that you were with before?
I mean, it feels good. It just shows that my talent wise, it shows that I'm undefeated regionally, and being the champ just kind of solidifies how good I am, and just making sure that I keep this belt on Friday, and making sure that and letting everybody know that like I shouldn't be regionally. I should be up in the UFC, PFL, Bellator. I should be with all those guys. I shouldn't have to be fighting regionally continuously and defending this belt.
Nice. And what is your inspiration going into this contest?
With this fight, I mean, I have a newborn son. He's 8 months now, so that's always like a little extra motivation. But I'm kind of just being more disciplined, honestly. I don't really feel like you need a ton of motivation or whatnot for the sport and for fighting. You got to be disciplined. You got to know that there's a guy, wherever Keenan's from, he's training to beat me, and I'm training to beat him. So, that's just enough motivation and discipline that I need.
Nice. Congratulations on the son, by the way.
Thank you.
And what does defending your championship in your hometown, basically at the 2300 Arena, mean to you?
It means a lot. A lot of people that I know are coming to the fight, so it's always exciting to go out there and perform in front of my friends and family and whatnot. But again, defending the belt obviously just shows that I'm the best guy on the East Coast right now, and that I'm ready for that step up again.
And what can you tell me about your opponent, Keaton Pattershuk, and how do you stack up against him?
I feel like I'm superior everywhere, but it is fighting, and you have to go in with a mindset that's 50-50 from the start. And I'm training with the best that I can to have the best advantages that I can as well. I know he's a good stocky fighter. He's a very forward pressure fighter, and yeah, he's got a big overhand. I think his biggest threat is his overhand, but that's about it. But he seems like he has a good pace as well, can get up off the ground. So, I always have to be ready wherever the fight goes.
And actually, you answered this earlier, but what can people expect from Kyle Daukaus on June 14th in Philadelphia?
The best version of myself, honestly. I feel like I'm in the best shape that I can possibly be for this fight. Mentally, physically, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go 5 rounds if it has to go 5 rounds. And I'm ready to go, a minute and a half if I have to go out there and put them out real quick.
And I was doing some research about you, and I found that your nickname is the Darce Knight.
Yeah.
So you might have a lot of the answers to this, but how did you develop that nickname, and why have you gone to Darce chokes more in your career? Because I've seen that you have a lot of that in your career, and you've nicknamed yourself the Darce Knight. So, like, how did that become with Kyle Daukaus?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think my frame kind of shows that. The Darce choke is kind of like a good choke for guys that have a longer, lankier frame. So I think that fits me well. Also, it's kind of a submission that I've kind of done consistently throughout fights and have been successful with it, along with training as well. So it's something that's kind of like a no can defend against me. If guys do defend against it, then eventually I will get them eventually in it. But as far as like the Darce Knight whole nickname came about, I like Batman, big Batman fan. My buddy Jim told me to kind of go with that. Tony Ferguson nicknamed himself the Darce Knight, but I wanted to steal it, so I kind of just took it and ran with it.
And so, and you were in the UFC before, and you fought some of the biggest guys in the company wise. What are you're trying to go back to the UFC? So how would you use this as a stepping stone to get back to where you want to get in your professional career?
Just making sure that I come out victorious. Making sure that I make a good statement. I'm on a 3-0 run right now. Since not being re-signed, I plan on being 4-0 on next Friday, and yeah, just showing that I can get the job done and that I can get the finishes. I need to keep getting these finishes and keep getting either a TKO or submission, or I don't think the company's going to like a decision, so I have to go out there and perform and make sure I get a finish.
And if nobody have seen you fought before, and this is the first time that people are coming to watch you fight, what would be one word to describe your fighting style and why?
Relentless. Because I put a forward pressure, and I make sure that guys try to gas out. I do my best to press these guys and test their cardio and make sure that they break.
And your brother Chris Daukaus was
Yep.
in the UFC. How has he been helping you in this training camp with motivation and like just being there for you and helping out with anything that needs you to do? But how has he been a big part of this camp?
Yeah, he's a big part of every single camp that I have. Just because it's kind of like the training partner I can rely on most, because not only like is he in the gym all the time, but he lives like 3 or 4 houses down from me. So whenever I need extra work, I can just hit him up, and he shows up and he's there. And it's good because he kind of takes on like a coaching. When one of us fight, we either me or him kind of take on like a coaching perspective of the fight. So they kind of give us our 2 cents. So he kind of gives me his 2 cents and tells me what I need to fix, what I need to work on, how we can kind of get the job done in the fight, and just also making sure that I'm prepared training wise.
And your head coach is Julian Marquez, correct? Or
no. I train with Martinez. Will Martinez.
Will Martinez.
Yeah.
What is his best advice that he's given you during this camp?
Probably the best advice is just sticking with the game plan that I have. Every single fight has kind of been the same for me. I've kind of pressed guys, taken them down, and submitted them. He sees what works, but when he watches tape, he also tells us kind of how he thinks that he would beat them himself. So I kind of take that into account as well. Like if somebody else sees a different way to beat them, I can kind of see that. But yeah, my coach Will is somebody who's kind of always been behind me from the very beginning. He's somebody who really presses us to be the best professionals that we can be, and he's also training with us too 24/7. So that's another great training partner to have.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's all that I
No problem, man.